Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Sunday, March the 4th. Welcome to our video commentary. Today we're going to remember this date, March 4th, because for a long time this was the date that we used to inaugurate presidents. In fact, from the second Washington inauguration, which would have been 1793, to the first FDR inauguration, 1933, it was March 4th when the president or the new president or the reelected president, whatever it may be, was inaugurated for another full term. Now, it was changed in 1937, and then we moved it to the 20th of January, which is what we do now. According to the people and some of the things that I've read, the reason they used to take an extra month or a couple of extra months back then, a lot of it had to do with transportation. I mean, you think about how easy it is to move today. Well, it wasn't that easy, particularly in, let's say, the first half of the 19th century, when most people were moving by horseback. So very often the roads would be very difficult in the winter. At times, you couldn't go from one state to another. So you didn't have trains really until the second half of the 20th century. So it was very difficult to move around. And that was the reason that they had the 4 months between election and inauguration date. Now, over the years, March 4th has been a consequential date or has been a consequential inauguration. For example, in 1861, when Abraham Lincoln became the 16th president, he was inaugurated. And shortly after that, of course, many states seceded from the Union, and not much longer after that, you actually had the Civil War getting started. So that right there was exactly, it was a very difficult March the 4th, to say the least. Also, a couple of days before, when President-elect Lincoln came to Washington, he took a train from Springfield all the way to Baltimore, and then from there to Washington. I mean, there was all kinds of rumors about an assassination of the president-elect. So it was a very complicated March 4th, to say the least, 1861. The country was in the middle of a very difficult situation. In 1933, you also had a very complicated situation, because we were in the middle of what came to be known, or the beginning of what came to be known as the Great Depression. So you had huge numbers of men unemployed, heads of households, if you will, unemployed. 25% is what I've read. So you had a lot of economic anxiety in the country, a lot of economic uncertainty, and President Roosevelt was forced to act very quickly after he became president to deal with some of this anxiety in the country. So March 4th, pretty important date. Sometimes, we had peaceful transitions or easy transitions. For the most part, we did. But once in a while, the situation was pretty difficult, as was the case following the election of 1876, when then President-elect Hayes did not formally get nominated president or get certified president until a couple of days before March 4th. So March 4th, we don't think of it anymore as an important date, but for a long time, this was the date when presidents of the United States were inaugurated. Now, of course, we do it on the 20th of January. And I wonder sometimes if that's not maybe a little too quickly, given the fact that you have to put together a cabinet, and the cabinet has to be approved by the Senate, and so on. And sometimes I think the new presidents, it takes a long time sometimes for the new president to put his team together. Maybe another 2 weeks or another 3 weeks might be helpful to put the new presidential team together. Anyway, just a couple of thoughts. Have a wonderful day, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas. Thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube. We have them on my Twitter, and we also have them on my blog. March the 4th used to be a big date in American history. It was the date that we inaugurated presidents. Bye-bye, everybody. So long.